Okay, good morning. This week we are back on the big site. For the last time we were here, the first thing on the video I mentioned was that the poo pipe connection was in. That had been signed off. The main utility company were happy with what we'd done. What I hadn't realised, because I'd not been here, is there was a little bit of a cock-up. When this was cut out and the traffic lights were here and it was all connected up, dug down, bearing in mind this is 3.5 metres deep. That was brought through from the last chamber over there, brought through and connected in. Now at the point in when that was done, we had a drawing that stated that this was a 150 drop into the main sewer. As it turns out, that was an earlier drawing. Unfortunately, this was tarmacked and finished, and then we found that that pipe from here to first chamber was actually falling the wrong way. That caused us a massive issue because it meant that all the poo from everybody that way started flowing back into our first chamber. We had to get the utility company out because, for starters, the main sewer pipe was actually blocked and the pumping station at the bottom wasn't working. So we got them out, they come and cleared everything out, we got all the shit out the bottom, and then we had to dig everything back up, recut the tarmac, and dig back down to the pipe that we just installed, because what should have happened is that should have gone in pretty much level into the main sewer, with effectively that level of fall then back where it should be, that way. So luckily, ANMAC and the guys, they sorted that out for us. There must be a little bit of an issue either with this sewer though, as in the main sewer, or with the pumping station, because after that it then blocked up again. So they then come back out, they've redone that, and now I believe everything is working fine. So that takes it through, and then from there on we've then connected up to the next chamber, the section effectively that wasn't yet done. That is now all connected up, and that is running all the way from customer said building. It's picking up the chambers along the way, which are going to go into it, and then that is going to run all the way through. Next thing on my list is this lamppost behind me. When basically you are putting a new entrance in like this, there is a set space in which the lamppost down the existing highway needed to be set at. This one just so happened to be right in the way. So it was agreed with the council that we could basically take that one down and put it on that side of the road in the same place. This has then caused a mountain of issues because James from JDC got a lighting firm to do us a lighting design, which we then sent off to the council. The council are then not happy with this design, so then we redid it in the correct colours and bits and bobs that they wanted. They then weren't happy with that design, so then we've redone it again, we've sent it again, they're still not happy. This has gone round and round and round in circles for about 5, maybe 6 months now. Fair play to Sarah in the office, she has persevered and constantly been badgering the council for this permission. We've had to now get an additional firm out to do an additional lighting design, and basically with all the paperwork that we've sent, we are pretty much at a stage now where, fingers crossed, I do not believe that they can refuse the remove and reinstatement of that lamppost on the other side of the road. The other thing that I find really frustrating is one of the things is we can't reuse that lamppost and we can't reuse the lamp on the top because they're now out of date. Albeit either side, both lampposts are exactly the same, apparently that can't be reused and neither can that. So now I have to fork out for a brand new lamppost. Bearing in mind, we're putting our own in down here because this is non-adopted. So we've got to go to the level of expenditure of installing this new road with all the services in it to an adoptable standard-ish. I disagree with that because they're not going to adopt it apparently. So we've got to do all that, put all the lampposts and everything in. But the existing one here, which in my opinion has only been in for the last 6 or 7 years, why have we got to reinstate that with a brand spanking new one? It's just another cost yet again that we're forced to pay, along with all them reports that we've done for little reason. Ultimately, if that lamppost is there, the lighting design is still works, it's exactly the same. Nightmare. So, curbing and the road. Last time we were here, there was an element of this section in. The road was built up to somewhere near this, the final trim through of the Type 1 material before tarmac. Tarmac, hopefully, is happening next week now, so fingers crossed, weather's with us and everything goes to plan to finish the last bits off, and then ANMAC and the guys can tarmac all that through. We've extended up the far end to what our planning consent allows us. So we've now installed this full length all the way back to the main road and the splay. All them curbs are either in or going in as we speak, and that is the footpath then all the way up this side. The ones round the splays on these two entrances are now done, so they're in, again ready for tarmac. And the main thing for me is to gain customer access to their building. We need to tarmac this section from here to there, which will link them two up. All the chambers, like I say, they're all benched up now, ready to go, and all the gully pots down the side of the road is in, all the falls are now set, so everything is sort of right ready for tarmac. Let's go up the far end. Okay, so like I say, tarmac finishes at this point where the curbs are now. That's what we've got planning to bring that new road through at this moment in time. Now the road will continue on that way, but I don't know whether it's exactly straight or whether we're slightly turning off to the right. We've extended the stone then through off the end of the road, and as we work our way round, we've put that holding compound in then up here. Now we've still got a bit more stone to lay in here, but ultimately what we've done is we've stripped an area off. All the materials that we've got down the bottom at the minute that are constantly being moved because they're in the way, they will now come up here. As the road is tarmacked and done, we obviously don't want all the big plant and machinery then tracking over that tarmac or being on the wrong side of it. So what we want to do is we want to make sure the majority of the kit then is kept here. So what we're going to do, that's that pond that sort of is at the back of the customer said building. That's all linked up drainage wise now. There's a drain that runs through the back that runs into that pond, so any excess surface water that sort of lands on here is getting its way out. And this then, okay, we put stone deeper than we would ordinarily, but this flat pad that we're going to run through a little bit deeper into there, a ramp up onto the existing railway line, so when we're taking that clay sandy material to build the bund at the very top end of the site, we can access that with the tractors and trailers without having to go through any of the fields, because at the minute we're still trying to retain as much of the grassland as possible for the farm with the animals that we've got grazing. So that's really why we've put this in now, so we can get all the materials moved up here out the way, and then we can carry on with the Trent 2 building. Okay, so another thing that we've been working on as well is after all of them drains were installed, and not just the sewer pipe but also all of the surface water drainage, with the site conditions that we've had to deal with and how they've been done as well at points, there has been a lot of sediment, a lot of clay and crap go into them, and ultimately that is set in the bottom of the pipe and restricted some of the flow of the pipe. So what we've done is we've brought in a specialist firm to jet everything. So they come along with a big bit of kit, and basically it's a glorified pressure washer on the end of a hose type thing. They put it down, they jet everything out, and they suck all the crap out at the same time. Now, we thought that was fine, and then we come across a little bit of an issue because the guys were basically benching up another one of the chambers, and they were down in there and they were testing some of the stuff, and they were pouring water in, and what we noticed is there was water backflowing. Absolute panic stations then, because we didn't know what the issue was. We assumed, given that everything was jetted, that at that point all that sediment had gone and therefore everything should be free flowing. Our worry was that there was a pipe either squashed, you know, when we've backfilled the trench, although we put pea gravel around everything, when you backfill a trench and you compact it, the worry was that it compacted everything down and squashed that pipe. The other thing that we were worried about is any movement. So when we've installed these pipes, if for argument's sake there is a chamber here and a chamber here, instead of the pipe being like that, had the pipe bellied in the middle, and therefore the inlet and the outlet were higher than what the middle of the pipe, so therefore it wouldn't work properly. So what we've had to do is we've had to bring another firm in, which they come along with effectively a camera on the end of a remote control car as such, and they drive this remote control car down all the drains, and you can see as clear as day. As it turns out, the first firm that we brought in to jet everything has done an absolutely horrendous job, and all the pipes were still full of crap. So that's really frustrating. That's cost us a couple of £1,000 there to do all of that jetting work, which I am going to be asking for my money back on that, because the job that they've done is horrendous. Luckily for us, the new firm that do the cameraing of the pipes, they also do jetting as well. Now, I saw it, Chris saw it on the camera. The amount of crap that was in them pipes was horrendous. So they have now rejetted everything, and they have showed us the camera footage afterward to make sure that we're happy, and everything is now pristine clean. Went back to the same places, filled them full of water. Water is going exactly the right direction where we want it to. So panic station's over. We haven't got to excavate any of them trenches or pipes back out and redo them, which was my big concern, because some of which have already been tarmacked over. So I was just thinking, pound sign straight away, this is going to cost us a fortune to put right, but luckily that's all fine. Last bit really here on the big site while we're here now, gives a bit of context while we're stood up here on the top of this mountain. Road obviously you know about. As we work our way around, that's the existing railway line, as we've said in the past. I'm not sure where we're going next. Planning wise, I haven't submitted another application at this present time. I've still got a lot of people waiting or wanting buildings, but I haven't yet decided which part of the site we're doing. So we've got that triangle at the far end that we need to start building up, the railway line. So this area here now in the corner is where we put that attenuation pond. We've got that last pipe to bring into that. As you can see, the trenches that we had to do as we work our way around the site, they are all ready to be backfilled now, because finally they have dried up enough, and fingers crossed there is no rain in the next week, because if there is no rain, all of them will be backfilled, because as you can see, we've got cattle grazing out in there at the moment. Then this last little section here where there is a natural pond in the winter months, because it's just low lying, but in the summer it is dry. We've left that sort of separated away from the cows, because that area there is where we've got to create this landscape bund all the way across that line there, which is the canal. So that sort of hedge line you can see, just the other side of that is the canal. So that is that landscaping bund that's going to run the full length of the site. And up to this point, there's nothing more happened with the Trent 2 building as yet. Although we've got the SBEM and the bits and bobs that we've been waiting for, we still have not had chance. We've been too busy on other jobs to put them footings in. So I've got to get them footings in before the weather really turns on us at the back end. But until really the tarmacking is done here and we've finished off that big local job that have got cows coming in about 2 weeks' time, that is what we've got to get finished first, and then we'll be all systems go back on this site. So hopefully by the end of the year we'll have that frame up with a roof on and a concrete floor, and then we can start looking at all the other works to go on in and around that Trent 2 building. So if you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and we will leave you with a massive on the big site montage